I discovered B&G Guitars the way a lot of us discover things now. It was somewhere on social media. It might have even been Instagram. I think I might have seen a picture or a video clip of Joe Walsh playing one. And it sent me to their site, because I've always loved Joe's tone. And I was really obsessing about these P90 pickups. I have another guitar that I had at the time that had a P90 pickup only in the neck. And I wanted to start playing guitars with P90s because they were just giving me something in the mid-range that others were not. My first instrument of theirs that I used was this one right here, and it's the Goldfinger. And it's an absolutely beautiful instrument, hollow inside, very resonant. And I love playing this guitar on recording dates. It's probably one of my most recorded instruments, especially on my last solo album, Rust Belt. But when I started playing live again with Little Feat, I was noticing that I was getting a little more feedback from that instrument on a really loud stage. And I saw they made this Helena guitar. And I tell you, this knocked me out when I got this, because this instrument, though it doesn't have all the resonance and the richness of the Goldfinger, it does have the best qualities to me of a vintage SG or Les Paul kind of combined, and you can see it in the body shape as well. And I love having a master volume, because I'll use volume swells a lot. Having that right there, instead of having the traditional Gibson layout with the 2 volumes and the 2 tones, it's more like a Telecaster with Telecaster knobs. And I love Telecasters, so having that there, you can still... You can do that kind of stuff. You can roll the tone knob. So you can do stuff that you usually would only be able to do with a Telecaster, but now you can do it with a Gibson style instrument. And my whole life I've gone, like most electric guitarists, I've gone between Gibson Fender, Gibson Fender. And what these guys have done at B&G is they've also combined sort of the best of both of those worlds with this Helena guitar, in my opinion. All right, so now we get to the gear part of everything, which of course, these incredible B&G guitars. These instruments are sort of an updated 2.0 version of, in my estimation, of American guitars you would have gotten in the 50s. And to me, that was kind of the best, the Stradivarius of rock and roll and blues is, a 50s Les Paul, especially the original Les Pauls with P90s. One of my favorite tones of all time are those early Freddie King records, tunes like Hideaway. And that's a gold top Les Paul with P90s. And what I love about these B&G guitars is they have these vintage style P90 pickups that they hand wind and make themselves. The instruments just have beautiful, really easy playing necks. They're kind of like the best of vintage neck shapes. And everything about it is kind of like a custom version of what would have been what players were playing on those original blues records from the 50s and 60s. And what's great about what these guys are doing at B&G is that they make instruments that are of the same quality, same build quality and attention to detail, but you can, get them at a fraction of the price. And, really, it's probably the closest thing to buying a Les Paul in 1954 or whatever new. And what these guys are doing is they're really trying to get us that tone of those great instruments from the 50s without having to go into the vintage market. The B&G Little Sister was actually the first guitar of B&G's that I think I heard. It was Bob Margolin was playing one, And I love Bob's sound. He's an incredible guitarist in general, but one of my favorite slide players. He was in Muddy Waters Band for many years, and he's one of the few people on earth who can play guitar exactly like Muddy. The little sister, though, I wasn't as attracted to because I like having upper fret access personally, and the reason I gravitated towards both the Goldfinger and the Helena is because it has these dramatic kind of double cut openings where you can really get your thumb, you can still get your thumb over the top of the neck when you're up here. See, so it's just like a 335 really, or an S, closer to an SG or a 335, kind of a combination. And then if you want to go, you know, sometimes I'll go way up with the slide, you know. So if you want to go way up there, it's just more practical to me to have the double cut. It just gives you more of an option. What I want out of a guitar, an electric guitar to be specific, because acoustic guitars are much more complicated construction in a lot of ways. But an electric guitar, to me, everything is the ergonomic design, so it's got to be a lightweight. I don't want it to be more than 7 pounds or so, and these guitars are light. It's got to be made of a type of wood that resonates well, obviously. The neck shape is extremely important, and the pickups. And really, if the pickups and the neck shape are right, you've got a great guitar. And what I love about what the B&G guys have done is they haven't only paid attention to that. They have my favorite types of tuners, they have my favorite type of bridge, they're using the right volume and tone pots. So all these things kind of, you know, add up to something that's really, it's really a player's guitar is what it is. In 2023, it's really been just like everyone else in the world. I'm just getting fully back to a creative life and going to be doing a ton of touring with Little Feat. Nothing international yet, sadly, but definitely all over the USA all this year. We're going to make at least one Little Feat album I know of. We might even make 2 by the end of 23. I'm also doing a lot more scoring, so I'm going to be scoring some more TV and film stuff, which has become a real passion of mine. And I'm still doing a lot of education as well. So I just wrapped recently the first rock fantasy camp in New York City. It was the Jam Camp with Phil Lesh and John Schofield and Robert Randolph. And I'm going to be doing more stuff like that in the continuing education realm. And that's basically it. I mean, you know, I don't have any plans to do any solo stuff anytime soon. I'm really focused on Little Feat for my playing and singing and writing. And the Goldfinger B&G guitar I'm using all the time on recordings. That's kind of become my main electric recording instrument. And this Helena I've been playing both with Little Feat and also I've been using it with this instrumental band I have called El Dorado Slim. And we have a lot more gigs we're going to be doing this year as well. We're doing a little Northeast tour in May and June.